Hi, and welcome back to Studio Tamera, the mystical paintress. Today we are heading out to Kensington to do a plein air painting, and as you know, you never know what we're going to see, so come join the adventure. Painting is really about learning to see. You notice how the furthest tree line back there has blue? Your eye filters out red in distance. Good morning, little bunny. You're so silly. Everyone in the group is now looking around for somewhere to paint. So many beautiful scenes out in nature. Such a beautiful morning. Wow. So I was scanning the area and oh wow, look at that. Ooh, yep, I want to paint that. We are going to paint that. Well, hello, little friend. I think we've got someone who would like some treats. Let's get some. Oh my goodness. Here. Aw, my little friend, huh? Yeah. My little friend. It's okay. You see this? How am I ever going to get any painting done with all this? Well, hello, pretty bird. Hello. Getting seeds all over. So here's my quick thumbnail sketch. Just a quick. And we're going to start to paint. Going to need the shade buddy. See all the shadows on the board? Not good. Shade buddy is this umbrella, and it blocks sun rays from hitting your palette and your board. I highly recommend one. So I'm painting that out there, and as you can see, yes, I am putting a little bit of some other colors in. I'm just squinting and looking at what I see, and I'm seeing, interestingly, a little blue on some of these branches. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to put it in. So now I'm just studying these branches out here and trying to place them exactly, holding the tip of my brush and just, this one's broken off. It's got another little broken shoot. There's one here, just looks like that. And the bottom of your tree is going to usually be darker because it's the furthest from the sun, obviously. So we're going to do a little bit of this, kind of seep that in there some. And I need to lighten this up to do some more branches. I'm going to get a little lighter color. I'm going to come down and show you my palette here. And at any moment, we could have a lovely little chipmunk join us, so, okay. So here, there's another one. It looks kind of dead. You gotta paint what you see if you want this thing to look real, though. So this kind of comes up like that. There's that dead one, and then there's a gray. One of the hard things with plein air painting is people walk by and they're so excited and they want to see what you're doing, and it's hard because if you stop and talk, you kind of lose your momentum. These are our tamaracks. So I'm just gonna suggest in here these. There's some are dark and some are light. We're just gonna suggest some to get some depth. And we still have our friend here, Chippy, hanging out. And you can watch Chippy down there if you want to also, but I need to get a tree line. You don't want it to be in the middle of your board. So I feel like this tree line's down here. So I'm just gonna put it in real quick, just a little something, so that I've got established some and I'm painting this very fast and loose and free. I'm having fun. I don't care about perfection or photographic quality. I'm really, truly just more interested in having a good time. See this light up here? I'm gonna put a little bit of that in here. So we're gonna have some real good contrast here. You can use cad yellow light and white and mix it. Get a real brighter kind of color to stick in here too. That's always fun. Now it's starting to get there. Next I'm seeing the darker tree line out in the distance and I just want to suggest it. So I'm using a little sap green and a little bit of violet gray mixed with it just to give it a little dusty color. And I'm just suggesting, you should always probably put your backgrounds in before you do this, but whatever, I didn't. I did the tree first and I don't regret it. Isn't this fun? You can paint. As things go further back, they get bluer, so I added a little bit of blue to this green mix, and I'm also going to add just a little white because they're further away. So watch what this does. As soon as you add this, see how it pushes it back? Pushes things back. So there, so I've created this misty far away look with the trees. Now I need to add a little more white to my sky to kind of pop it forward, because right now it's too close in value to these trees, see? I'm just gonna put a little cloud here, and then that makes it a little better. Now you can really see the difference in the light back there and the dark. So we're gonna keep this side of the tree light and darken that. So this is how we're gonna do that. First of all, we're going to kind of make a big gobbledygook of stuff. We're gonna just suggest things because nature's so random. And I really just want to paint what I see, not so much worry about all this. Now it does look a little bit too green for me. And I have to kind of look at the habit here of how this tamarack grows for a minute. So that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm just kind of squinting and looking up at, okay, what's going on here with this? Okay, so it's kind of like this. You know it's a tamarack. It's got all these lovely little dark nooks and crannies in there. But you gotta kind of get it in. This is a very impressionistic painting I'm doing today. And I don't want it to look like a photograph. I definitely want to see brush strokes. I want to feel movement. I want it to be fun. So I'm kind of doing something I don't normally do here. So, and I do need to put a little bit of light in here behind these guys, just a little more of this green color up here. And you just play with it. I mean, you got to work in and out and in and out and work with it until it's something you like. So we're starting to get the feel of that. As you can see, this is very dark here, and I need to lighten it some now. All right, I mixed some cad yellow and white. See this color, how it matches back here? And we are going to just suggest, I'm going to squint, and I'm going to suggest in here. Let's see, where exactly is this? So it's down here. And we're just going to put it in. And because it's so bright and it has such contrast, it should pop forward. Of course, we don't want to overdo it, but we can go over that some. And we might even need a little more than what I'm doing here. But you need dark under for light to pop up. Remember that. I'm going to use the palette knife too. Cad yellow, light, and white. And I have the palette knife. And we are going to come up and put some of this in here. And this is going to really bring this forward because of how bright it is. Normally, I don't paint quite this thick or bold, but this is just how it turned out today. And every day is an adventure when you're out painting. So just have fun with it. Whatever happens on the journey of painting, let it happen. So that's what we're gonna do. Gonna let it just kind of be here and be free. The next step with tamarack is studying the movement of the tamarack leaves, and you want to keep the value very close to the value you're working with. You don't really want everything to pop out. So we're gonna just try to keep these pretty much in here and suggest these tamarack. I don't know how this is gonna turn out. And it sounds like it just started raining. Yep, that's rain. So this is another joy of plein air painting, is you're gonna get rained on, probably a lot. I'm just gonna keep painting. I'm not gonna let it stop me unless I get a thunderstorm. So we're just gonna keep painting this. Now, tamarack's different than a regular pine tree because it doesn't have big, thick, bushy bottoms. Everything on the tamarack are like these wispy little fingers, kind of, that come out like, you know, see them out there? Here, let's zoom in so you can see what I mean. See how they're like wispy, and that's what we got to get here, is just some wispy, beautiful little, they can be darker at the bottom, that's fine, but they're definitely tamaracks. So we're going to just suggest these in here. I'm trying to hold the camera still. I know I've had complaints in the past from people that the camera moves too much, but I am on location here. I do not have a film crew. This is just me and my phone out plein air painting. Well, it's a little harder to do than people realize, to paint and talk and hold a camera. But this is because I want to inspire all of you at home to come out and paint. So, and every now and then something's a little darker, and that gives it a little, makes it real. And I see we've also got in here another little branch. It's a little darker than that. So, you know, if you paint what you see, you're not going to be able to go wrong. As humans, we want everything even and perfect, and we try to paint things the way we think they should be, and that's a big no-no. As soon as you make it even and perfect in nature, it doesn't look like nature anymore. So we're getting this effect of looking through this, and I'm really liking how this is looking. It's a lot of fun. Okay, the next thing is we've got some vegetation and some cattails in front of this, so we're going to mix an even lighter kind of green mix, and we're going to just kind of see what we can do here. We're just going to suggest a few things in. I'm actually going to grab my knife and see what happens when we stick in a few of these. All right. You're only going to see light if you have dark under, and you're only going to see dark if you have light under. So just remember that. And you don't want to overdo it too. The cattails have a blue tint to their leaves. So we're going to add a little cobalt blue to this green to make it cooler like the cattails. Maybe even a little white. Practice color mixing at home. Practice using this palette knife at home. And then we're going to put a couple of these in. Yeah, see, you can't hardly see them. So we're going to add a little more white. And we do have a couple of these in here, these big old cattails. Put them in. Now, they're not stealing the show. They're just a friendly addition, right? I'm getting to a point where I'm feeling like I'm just about done, and the reason for that is I really don't want to overwork this. I don't want this to look too overworked. I want to keep it as fresh as I can. I'm just capturing this moment here, plein air painting. So I'm trying real hard not to overdo this sucker. So now I am going in and I am refining a little bit of the tree so that the lights and darks are correct. You got to be very careful with branches that you don't make them too noodly, because the branches are all very straight. And one of the biggest mistakes beginning painters make is they noodle the branches and they look like worms. So that's a really good thing to remember. Yeah, I'm starting to like how this is starting to look. It's starting to look a little more fun. I might stop pretty soon, actually. Yeah, that's fun. I think I'm going to sign it and stop and keep it fresh. One of the hardest things to do, plein air painting, is learn when it's time to stop. So again, practice at home on cardboard with a little brush. Use some Terp or some Gamsol and just practice so that by the time you're out in the field and you want to do your signature, you got it down. And it doesn't always work as good. Sometimes it works better than others. But I always sign my paintings before I leave the field, and then I don't work on them at home anymore. I'm done. That painting's done. So thank you so much for tuning into my show today. Here's our finished plein air painting at the Kensington Nature Center. And I want to thank all my subscribers and my Patreon followers. And my paintings are available on Etsy. My book is available on Amazon. And remember, paint on, you can paint. Yes, you can. You can paint. Have a great day. Paint on.